If you're like me and flexibility is something that you neglect, then this video is for you. I met up with a flexibility coach to get some easy to incorporate drills to add into your climbing training to help you get the most out of your mobility. This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Welcome back to another video with my guest, Fran. So you'll have seen a couple of videos with Fran and I now climbing at the hangar in Sheffield, but in this session we're going to be going through a strength and conditioning routine that you can integrate into your climbing training to improve your flexibility. So what have you got planned?
Yeah, so it's a sort of superset. So we're going to cycle through 4 exercises for legs. I will show the sort of technique and the sort of form of it, and then we'll go through the sets and reps that you can approach with or without weights, so you can kind of adapt it to your needs and to your abilities. I'm trying to make this as accessible, so we'll give a few options of gravity, floor, not floor based stuff. So yeah, let's get into it.
Let's go.
This is really good for any double heeling, double toeing, or just single heel. We'll start with just 1 round of warming up the muscles. If you feel good, then you add like the weight to it.
Okay.
This is called a good morning elevated pancake. Simple, medium, a bit stronger. With the weight, you wouldn't be out here. You just stuck out the bum, keep the spine really long, and try to get all the way until you can't go any further. Which means, potentially, for people who can't sit on the floor, it might just be here. And that's fantastic because this is the highest percentage of tension compared to the gravity. If you're going over your sort of parallel level of the ground, then the gravity is less. But if you're up here, the gravity resistance is more. Hopefully it makes sense. So you can do maybe like a couple of rounds just to get this sort of softened out. When you sit on a bench for this purpose, imagine that you're sitting right at the edge so that your sit bones are kind of coming out. So you almost feel like you're spilling already out. And then obviously you need to find the right balance between falling off the bench and being on it. But that's it. And then get the sort of width that doesn't have to be your full width, something that you're semi-comfortable keeping your feet on the ground and your knees fully long. And then choose maybe start with the hands on the hips, stick your chest up, and then come down as far as you can go.
Not far.
There you go, that's perfect. Then hold it there for a couple of seconds and then slow return as well. Perfect. So we want to aim for a slow tempo here, because if you go it too fast, your muscles will perceive that tension happening. Your brain will be like, nope, no thank you, and it will make you freeze sooner than what you can actually go. So aim for like 3, 2, 3. So 3 down, 2 hold, and 3 up. Nice. Do you feel like working?
Yeah, in my like hamstrings.
Yeah. That's what we want.
Yeah. Again?
1 more. You hoped to get out of it sooner. Okay, so from here we get standing. We're going to come into a whole stand squat. Really good for frogging, really good for anything that has to do with your hips open on the wall. Here again, we want to stick the bum out ever so slightly. So think ballerina is really straight. No, we want to like be out. So it's softer, it doesn't pinch in the hips. Only a few people will have the anatomy to not stick the bum out and go wide, but majority of people will need to do this little trick of sticking the bum out. Usually I take 3 or 4 steps out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Usually that's average for people. When you become really comfortable, you can go wider. We rotate ever so slightly out. Perfect. Knees try and keep track onto the toes. And then I just want you to squat as deep as it feels good. Trying to keep the spine straight. You should feel a bit of a pinch there, maybe at the back, and then slow tempo up again. Yeah. Perfect. Good. We're doing 2 more. So we're going down for 3, 2, 1. We hold for 1, 2, and we go up. 3, 2, 1. That's a lot usually hard worker than if you did like this.
Yeah,
it's a complete different training. This is fast twitching. You do it for diners. This is to get the depth. This is to prime the muscles to hold those positions as well. Really good. Nice.
So before we get into the next flexibility drill, I wanted to have a quick word from the sponsor of today's video, which is Squarespace. So I have been working with Squarespace for a few months now, but I've been using Squarespace to host my online website and store for much longer than that. Recently, we launched our online store, hannahmorrisbouldering.com, through Squarespace, and honestly, they just made it so easy to integrate everything we needed to integrate all in one space. What I'm finding particularly useful about hosting our online store with Squarespace at the moment is their mobile app, which means that I can keep track of things like inventory and orders whilst I'm on the go. The app is super easy to use. I just pull it up on my phone. It lets me know when a new order comes in. It lets me know when stock is depleted or running low. So if you are in the market for a beautiful online presence, then I absolutely recommend Squarespace. Head to squarespace.com/Hannah Morris, and then when you are ready to launch, use the unique code Hannah Morris for 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain.
So since that your bum is in line with your knees there, I would like you to try and go a little wider. That's kind of an indication that you can go a bit wider. So it might feel a little stronger, but you should have the mobility to do it. Perfect. Beautiful. Nice. Now stay there. See if you can rock more weight onto one side, like you were on the wall. Perfect. And then all the way to the other side. Good. Very nice. Back to center and all the way up. Yeah.
Too far center.
Nice. Okay. Nice. So this is something you can do in like sets, reps. It's always low tempo.
Yeah.
Nice. Final one for the flexion. Hip. Oh, no, two more actually. One for hip flexion is this. So let's hold on to a bar so you don't have to worry about balance. And what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze and hold. It would be more ideal if you could do this. So lift the heel as well, because most of the time when you're climbing, you're not bringing your knee to the wall, you're bringing your foot. So for climbing purposes, grabbing hold of the foot. If you can't grab hold of your foot with your hand, very likely, you can use a band, a strap, anything. You're going to bring it to a height that feels semi-uncomfortable. Squeeze, hold it for like as far as you can, maybe like 20-30 seconds would be really good. Then you grab hold of it again, go a little higher, squeeze, hold. Good. And then a little more, like 3 times. And then squeeze, hold. That like it's my maximum, and you can see because I'm shaking like mad. And then down. Whew, that fires up hip flexor and the standing leg, which is really important in climbing because you have to keep the tension through the lower foot, right? If you lost the tension through the lower foot, you'd just be slipping through. So great. One. Want to give it a go?
Cool.
So if I trained one-to-one with clients, I would be the one holding the leg. Right. So I can be meaner. You can hold on to harder if you want. Perfect. Then you want to start with sort of like, imagine you're bringing the foot onto a foot hold. So let's start here. Good. Squeeze and then hold. Nice. Tall. Good. Do you feel the shake?
Yeah.
Good. So relax now. And then we'll bring it a little higher. Really think about compacting here. Good. And squeeze. Hold there. Nice. Strong. Yes. Breathe. Okay, great. Last one. Relax. We'll go a little higher. That's it. That's the one. Flex the foot as well. It might help you. So the ankle, flex or point, whatever. So it's nice and strong. Either way. Okay. As long as it's active. A squeeze and hold. You got it. Yes. Look, it's shaking. Yes. Good. Nice. Release. So eventually you want to aim for this leg not to come forward. So at the moment you were kind of like sinking a little bit. It's fantastic for when you're applying it on the wall because that gives you immediate range of motion. But when you're training flexibility, you want to be a bit more like specific and isolating the parts of the body that you want to work with. Other leg. Some people train it up to failure. So if you want to be really mean with yourself, you can like continue doing it until the leg just drops down. And instead of allowing it to drop down, you're trying to contract in as many places as possible on the way down as well. But this is a bit more sort of intermediate work. So if you're just starting off, 3 times is more than enough. You'll have a lot of DOMs tomorrow. Okay, squeeze, hold, final effort. Nice. Like contract everything, stand as tall as possible. Yeah, good, good, good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Then it's usually like, like super heavy, but awesome. So we've seen this, we've seen this, we've seen that. Now for the hamstring, this is usually the preferred one for people because like the only thing that has always been flexible in my body has been my hamstring. So the rest I had to work really hard. Hamstring, I can do this without warming up.
Yeah.
Like I've always been able to do that. So I understand that it doesn't come up to my head for me as first form of flexibility, but a lot of people are like, right. So to make it very accessible, we're doing a B stance, which means that we're working on a single leg. Instead of doing 2 legs together, you're going to offset your stance ever so slightly and working specifically onto the front leg. This one can have a slight bend as long as you feel comfortable. This one is steady and long. So yeah, almost like you're sat into a reverse lunge. So this knee is bent and the leg is extended. Perfect. Okay. Same principle as the pancake. We want to stick the bum out and then we think, I call this a sandwich. We make a sandwich from the belly to the thigh. Your hands are your ham, tofu, salmon, whatever you're into. We squeeze and we try and compress. We don't bend the front leg, we only bend the back leg. Do you feel the hamstring?
Yeah.
Good. You go as far as it feels good without rounding your back. And the same thing, you hold, you squeeze, and then slow tempo up. Quite strong already. Yeah. Good. Few more. If you feel wobbly through your stance, you can take the back foot a little wider. That might help. Nice. Very good. See, you're just about to run here, so this is your stopping point. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. One more.
Like,
very good.
That,
Yes. Amazing. Nice. The little trick that you can do if you want to work on your calf as well is to flex the foot. This is a little stronger on the hamstring, so if you have really tight hamstring, I would avoid flexing the foot. But if you have a somewhat okay, then you're gonna flex, and then here just pulls a little lower, it pulls into the calf. So it's a really nice stretch if you want to get that back of the leg as well. So it's small adjustments. Same thing onto the other leg. B stance is what we call, A stance would be legs together, but yeah, perfect. Long front leg, bend to back leg, sandwich to the front leg. Sometimes I teach this in classes and I'm like, I'm really sorry if you're hungry. I'm about to make a metaphor with food. Good. Yes. Keep extending. Nice. So one thing that Hannah's doing really well already without me saying anything is she's not pivoting from the hips. So you want to make sure that they're quite steady, which means that you're not bringing one hip more forward and one hip more back. She's really, really steady here. This is what we need to make sure that it's done somewhat correctly. You can then vary it for a variety of movement, but this is the main one. Good. I feel like this leg is a little tighter, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels it. Definitely not going down as far.
Nice. Awesome. So you've got your 4 exercises now. Just for the sake of showing with weights, we're going to do like a tiny little circuit, just 5 reps each one all together, one like 30 seconds in between. And I would suggest start with 1 set, like just go through the motions of the 4 exercises once. If the next day you're still able to walk and you don't feel too bad, then maybe you can think about increasing it slowly. It's really important not to jump straight into the deep end of things. I've done that too many times and then I just ended up walking like a penguin the next day. So recommended, take it slow and easy, yes. You can start with a 2.1 since it was already quite challenging, okay? And then we'll do the same round, 5 reps on each one. So we start with the pancake, then we come into the whole stance squat, then we come into the hip flexion, this one you don't need the weight, and then we come into the B stance. Okay, so I will do the floor version of some of them so you can see how you can change it as well, and you can use the bench for the first one. Yeah, nice. So we'll just do, well, if it feels too much, 5 reps, you can do less, like 3. But just for an idea, the weight can be here, can be at the back. Let's start nice and slow.
Yeah.
We go down, exhale, slow and steady. Pause, 1, 2, and then up, 1, 2, 3. Good. Then straight into horse stance squats. So usually I just pull myself up. This one is better to do standing, either motions. It's the most accessible. With the weight I use it like this, but you can also have it here if it's better. Widen the feet, find the width that works best. And we take a deep breath in, stick the bum out, exhale, 3, 2, 1, pause, 2, 1, and up, 3, 2, 1. You can feel after the second or third rep that it's beginning to find it be a little harder to come up. Good. Hip flexor. This one will just do more of a, like a slightly less of a engagement, so we're not holding for seconds. I just want you to take your knee up, try and extend the foot, then bend the knee, bring it higher, extend it higher. Good, and then a little more. Good, and then back down. Toes through the standing leg. Good, nice. I knew you were gonna cheat it out. Nice. Same on the other side. Start with a comfortable high extend, up, and then up again. Good. Obviously, I'm already compensating as well because I'm finding it hard, so you will feel a bit of movement, but you do the best you can. Final one, our legs. So B stance with the weight. This is called a B stance pike. Good morning. You can do this, so you slide the weight down. Just be careful because you want to make sure that you're not going straight deep and you're going nice and slow. Nice, perfect. Good. And then pull it up really slow, back straight. And then just 2 more each leg with the variation of the lifted heel. And even if I do this quite a lot, my foot is still shaking because and it never ends. Great, and that's it. So this can be as simple as your conditioning session for legs, flexibility. That's it. You can attach it at the end of your climbing session, but what happens sometimes is that you're quite fatigued.
Yeah.
So I would suggest keeping it as an entirely different session. Even on the same day, like if you are a big keen climber and you climb in the evening, you could do the session in the morning. Should still feel better than doing it straight after.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So I hope you enjoyed that strength and conditioning circuit. Thank you very much to Fran for running me through it. I definitely feel like I'm going to be feeling that in my legs tomorrow.
I think so too, to be honest.
I'm quite excited for that. But yeah, thank you so much for your time. As always, I will leave all of Fran's information in the description, so do go and check her out.
We didn't cover the upper body, but if you want tips or hacks for upper body, you feel free to hit me up and I'm more than happy to give you info.